And I'm running for president of the ZOA. Now, in my first video, I introduced myself and told you my views on the vital issues. This time, I'm going to tell you about the health of the ZOA and why a change is desperately needed. Now, I am very sorry to say that the ZOA is sick. And unless things change, it's not going to survive much longer. The ZOA should be thriving. In view of its long history and strong principles, it should be as big or bigger than AIPAC, the Anti-Defamation League, and the American Jewish Committee. But it isn't. Right now, it's just a tiny organization with a few employees and only one real office. Over the past few years, the donations are down to approximately $2 million a year. That paltry sum could barely support a startup, let alone an organization that's more than 100 years old, like the ZOA. J Street, a brand new organization that does great harm to Israel, has already surpassed the ZOA in size and resources. Now, in 2012, the last full year for which financial information is available, the ZOA's donations were barely over $1 million. Its expenses, on the other hand, are nearly $3 million. Now, the ZOA does get some additional income, gets rent and some other miscellaneous funds. But even considering all that, the ZOA still lost $1.3 million in 2012. Obviously, this can't continue. Circumstances are now so desperate that the ZOA is looking into selling the building it owns in Manhattan on 34th Street near Fifth Avenue to restock its bank account. We're in the position of a family who has to sell their home because they can't pay their bills and stay afloat. Now, why'd this happen? Once again, I'm sorry to say the responsibility lies with the ZOA's head, Mort Klein. Under his watch, the ZOA has seen its donations consistently shrink. Most of its money comes from just a handful of wealthy and generous donors. There is no broad-based outreach to the wider Jewish community and zero appeal to young people. The average age of a ZOA donor is approximately 78. Our donor base is disappearing, and in some cases, literally dying out. Even worse, money's been spent unwisely. Instead of hiring experienced fundraising professionals and opening branches across the country, the ZOA has closed offices and let people go. Now, where has the money gone? The truth is, too much of it has gone directly into the pockets of the president, Mort Klein. Mort has been listed as one of the top 3 most overpaid Jewish professionals in the United States, according to a recent study published by the Jewish Forward. Now, by reviewing public filings, it's impossible to figure out exactly how much money Mort's been paid. Some of it's compensation from salary, some of it's from special trusts, retirement funds, and other benefits. Now, trying to piece it together, it appears that while the ZOA has been struggling in recent years, Mort's been making more than $500,000 a year, maybe as much as $1 million or even more in some years. That is positively shocking and outrageous for a nonprofit organization as small as the ZOA. We simply cannot afford it. Now, what would I do? The money saved on a president's salary should be used instead to hire several experienced fundraisers and to open new branches. There should be an appeal that uses the new media, social media, the internet, and other modern techniques to appeal to a broader base of people. Of course, we have to keep our existing large donors, but we also need to expand to Jews of more modest means, many of whom are young people who can, could, and would donate what they could afford if only we reach out to them. It's time to join the 21st century. If an organization as vile as J Street can succeed, the ZOA should be able to succeed, but do so much, much better. In my next video, I'm going to talk about other management changes that need to be made at the ZOA in order to make it an open, transparent, democratic, honest, and fair organization for donors and employees. And once again, I close by renewing my request to Mort that he agree to debate me in a public forum so that people can hear what we both have to say and make an informed decision. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.